I would be coming to Calgary this year. A lot of you guys are following me up there, and it's just amazing to know that. So I will be coming to visit and to do a road tour, a house tour, and see some of the properties that I buy. What do I look for when I'm buying properties and all of that. Of course, that's gonna be a paid session, so I'm looking forward to that, and I'm gonna be talking about that in my webinar. So you guys that you're in Calgary, you're up to a treat, and just keep following me, and I'll announce this once everything is ready. Somebody said Manitoba. I need more followers from Manitoba. So maybe if you do recommend more people from over there, then maybe I would decide to come to Manitoba. I want to go to 2 more places. Of course, I'm going to still do my conference or meet up something in the GTA, because I just have to give I have to give love back to the GTA, right? So I am going to be doing that in the GTA, but I plan to go to 2 other places before the end of the year. It just depends on where I have more followers, more audience. So if you guys send me more people, if I see more people in my program, then I would most likely do that. Somebody's asking me about Milton. What is going on in Milton? Milton still continues to be a good market. It just depends on where in Milton. Now, there's a downtown Milton, right? Downtown Milton that I personally don't like, even for investments, because those properties are just very old. Now, if you have properties in those regions, the city is allowing people. Do I refer or recommend? What do I need to do? Yes, you need to recommend or refer more people into the program, and then when I have enough people, then I'll come to that area to come and show you guys, because there are a few areas where I'm jumping all over the place. There are a few areas where it's my buy box, right, where I personally will buy properties, and when I come to those areas, I'm coming to partner up with the citizens over there or the members over there in my community to be able to buy properties together. So we are going to be doing a tour, plus I'm coaching people and teaching them how to buy properties in those areas. What is your take on investment? Guys, please use the question box. Because I can't keep up. Investment properties in Brampton is actually very good. One of my friend's clients bought a property about detached, which is about $1.1 million in Brampton, and let me tell you guys, she said she was able to rent the basements for about $2,200 and the upstairs for about, I think, $4,000 or $3,900, something like that. So the property still break even. So it was a detached property in a very good location. It was $1.1 million, guys. Before everything was expensive, before interest rates went up and everything was expensive, it would cost about $1.4 to $1.5 million on average to buy a detached property. So something for $1.1 million is just absolutely insane, crazy, good deal that you want to have in your portfolio. So the fact that cash flows also makes me happy as well. So personally, I am looking into whether or not I'm looking for properties right now to buy in Brampton because they're so low, and GTA has something where prices can go up very, very easily, very, very fast. So I am personally gonna be buying something over here. Hamilton is a great area, like I was trying to say. It just depends on which location. If you are in downtown Hamilton, well, you are able to buy property there, but you can probably have a laneway property that you can build over there and stuff. So that's something that I would do if I'm buying downtown Hamilton, but I personally don't like it. There are also a few unit apartments like duplexes, triplexes that you can buy in Hamilton as well. Hamilton is so broad, so there's Stony Creek that is closer to Milton and Mississauga, all of those areas that are good for new immigrants, families and all of that. But those may not necessarily break even when we're talking about numbers. So when you're asking me about Hamilton, it's difficult truly to be able to answer that question without knowing what your goal is. Are you trying to buy for investment, or are you trying to buy to live? Where should you buy, right? But properties over there has been stable in terms of price, and I think it's going up, and it's still one of those places where we can still say closer to the GTA area, or we can call it the Green Belt, the Niagara region, that is still affordable for a lot of people. How can I start real estate in Canada? Okay, so starting real estate in Canada, if you are a non-resident trying to buy a property in Canada, right now it's very hard to buy it because the rules are saying that you can't buy it. It becomes very expensive for you to be able to buy right now. So I don't suggest non-residents to be buying. I suggest you to, maybe if you have a partner, if you have a spouse that is in Canada, you can buy using their names and all of that. So I hope that makes sense. Whether or not I'm taking intern right now, it just depends on, by summer I plan to take interns, but I'm looking more for, digital editing, stuff like that, right? Transaction coordinators and stuff like that. So that's what I'll be looking for. So it just depends on, and I probably can take 2. That's the max. So thank you, Abu Eji, for that question. How can a student buy a house? It depends on which region you are in. If you are in Ontario, you need to combine with somebody else that has their residency already. If you do not have papers. To register for that program, go into my bio. You will see the link to the program, or you can just DM me, and a member of my team is gonna send it to you. Do you think there is a high upside potential in Alberta even as prices have gone up? Yes, I do think, because right now one of the things I teach people is, once you're moving towards an area, once there's huge migration and population growth in an area, it means that the area is going to continue to develop, especially if there's job stability, economics, and all of those things are working. So there are a few strategies that I will personally do in Alberta. I probably will not do all of the strategies, but we have land development, we have student housing, we have multifamily, we have buying medical buildings. Like, there are different things, and we just have to decide on what you want to do depending on your own goals. And that is why I offer the personalized coaching, right? Because sometimes few areas has unique strategies that are going to work just because of the proximity or the natural dynamics of the area, if that makes sense. So for example, if I was in Waterloo and they have about 2 to 3 schools, I'll probably want to do student rental if I have the time to be able to manage students, right? So that's an example of how locations can be very specific to what strategy would work in that area. Okay. Hey guys, thank you for following. I'm just doing a Q&A session right now. Somebody's asking me, how can one position in the GTA this period as a fresher in Ontario? I'm going to be talking all about that in the webinar. One of the ways that I wanted to start is, remember, there's 3 things that you need when you're buying real estate. You need your credits, you need income, and you need you need experience or job. You need your down payment, and you need credits. Those are the 3 main things that you need. And the reason why I said experience or income is because when you're buying more units, sometimes you don't need to have as much money or as much money down. Sometimes they're looking for the experience, right, to be able to manage those business. So that's why I said that. Now, some of these things doesn't have to be yours, or any of these things doesn't have to be yours. You can leverage from others, you can use other people's money and all of that. So in your situation, I like to talk to people about what are the skills that you have right now. Do you have negotiation skills? Do you have time on your hand? Do you have money, right? If you have money and I want to invest, for example, in Waterloo, is that somewhere that I can manage? If I can manage it, can I have somebody manages for me, like a property manager? Does that make sense? Because at the end of the day, it comes back to, there's no one heart fits all. It's about what works for you and your strategy. That's the beauty of real estate. You can also invest passively too. You can invest and just give your money to other people. They manage it for you in REITs and all of that, and you just have your money to yourself, right? If you are still, and that's what a student can probably do too. You can invest in REITs if you qualify for it, and just use that to grow that way, right? You can do private lending. Those are all the opportunities that I'm going to be talking about, and I'm going to try to take my time to explain it within maybe 30 minutes, and you guys are going to have time to be able to ask me questions and answer for an hour. Okay, that's Yemi. Thank you. Somebody asked me, do you have an idea in which area around not far from Mississauga that is currently affordable for first-time home buyers? Affordable for first-time home buyers. So I would say affordable to me is about maybe $700 to $1 million. I want to say, because that's the thing, you guys are leaving me to just guess. So that's what affordable would mean to me. Now, which areas are closer to the GTA? I would say maybe if you want to go Dufferin area, Alton area is a bit cheaper. It's just slightly lesser. So those areas like Dufferin area, and if you want to go towards north, you can go to Alliston, all of those areas as well. You know, those areas are cheaper, right? And also Stony Creek going down continues to be cheaper once you're going down that way. Some of my clients will also go to Waterloo because it's cheaper to Mississauga, and it depends on, you know, your kids' school, proximity to work, all of those things. So I would tell my clients to go north, south, east, west based on where they live and support system, because a lot of my clients will have families, and of course you guys know I'm a family woman, so I'm always concerned about where are my people. I can't move away from where my parents are because I need help, right? So that's just kind of how it works. All right, any other questions over here? Thank you guys for joining. I am just doing a Q&A session. So I told you some of my goals for this year. Some of my goals are to travel and see some of you guys and meet you guys in person. I am going to continue to travel for vacation because God knows I need that, because, you know, real estate can be very stressful sometimes. A lot of things that I do bring work, so I need to rest for that. So I'm going to continue to travel. So when I am going to a particular place, I may put it online sometimes. Sometimes I don't until I come back. But yeah, I'm open to meet some of you guys and do more meetup this year. I'm also going to be doing more webinars to be able to educate you guys on investments, because a lot of people, what I say to people is, when you have a goal or when you want to do something, invest in real estate. One of the reasons why I started investing, coaching people how to invest in real estate, is because a lot of times people invest in something, they invest in real estate, but they take it seems like they're still taking one step forward and they are taking 4 steps backwards. What that means is you invest in something where you have no education, you did not understand the risk, you did not understand what is required from you, how long it takes for the investment to mature. Some of the investment is 5 years, some of them are 2 years, some of them are 6 months. You did not understand that, and then you invested in that asset class and you lost money that ended up costing you about 4, 5, even 10 years of your life. And this is particularly a problem when we are talking to people that are retiring in the next 5 to 10 years. They do not have time to make this time back, right? And this is why you will see Canadians that are seniors, they are still working as a cross guard on the streets because they lost a lot of their savings, or their savings has just not been appreciated enough because of lack of knowledge, lack of guidance, and just somebody to just brainstorm some of the things they're doing with them, right? Without any, without with just brainstorming it with them to make sure they're doing the right things, right, based on their own situation. Because the thing is, what works for me as a person might not work for you. It doesn't work for everybody. I gave you guys some scenario about what I personally want to do for my own business and how I want to grow. Some of the strategies that I don't do, even though I know them so well and I have friends that are doing it just doesn't work for me. Because, for example, student rental is something that I don't want to do. It takes a lot of time to be able to manage youths and to manage young adults, and they move around a lot, and I just want stability. I want a passively active business, if that makes sense. I want to be able to stay with my kids. I want to be able to travel and do all of those things. So student rental, for example, is something that I'm not interested in. Airbnb is something I'm not interested in. Now, a lot of my students would do that. A lot of my clients would do that, and I have no problem with that. But the fact that they are doing that doesn't mean it's good for me, right? And if I do it and if they make money because of the one or two challenges that might be unique to me as a person, that could cost me losing a lot of money. Ovia is asking me, are the other ways to invest without actually putting down 20% to buy a house? Okay, are there any other ways to invest without actually putting down a 20% to invest in a whole house? Yes, there are. For example, I've seen people buy their first property with 5%, buy the next property with 5%, if they qualify with the financial institution, right? I have also seen people partner up with other people to be able to put their money down. And I've also seen people use OPM, right? OPM is one of the things that I teach, and there are several ways that you can do OPM. Other people's money is what we call it, to be able to invest, right? In real estate and save on your taxes, I get more tax returns, and sometimes they never sell this house, they never even pay taxes, right? So those are strategic ways to be able to make money in real estate. It's not just about I want to be able to make money in real estate. It's also about how do you keep the money you're making in real estate, right? That is very important. That's something that some people doesn't talk about. I had a woman come yesterday on my program, on my call, and she said she's a builder in Alberta. She built since 2005. She was an investor. She was flipping properties as far back as 2005 in Canada, in Alberta. And then in the last maybe 5 years, she started developing, like actually being a developer and building. And she said she sold everything and now she doesn't have anything. And that's a typical example. And she wanted my help as to how can you, Deborah, help me figure out a system, a strategy that is easy to follow, and for me to be able to also have time for my family. Because now she said she had a child that is about 3 years old, and she has 4 kids like me. So that's an example of I want to be able to. You could even understand real estate, but you're not doing it correctly because you don't have a system. Because what you want to do is to be able to have a system where you are the CEO, and even when you're not there, people are still able to function without you, right? So that's something that we can talk about.